but I think it's a great feat for a small 18 card game to be that tightly designed that I have no issues and no problems whatsoever granting Birdscaping the Silver Sir Thecos Ace of Games Award. I'm really happy to do so. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and today I will be playing another Game Crafter game for you because, I'm slowly playing through their library of games. And today I will play Birdscaping for you, designed by Joe Klipfel. This is a solo game that you can also play with up to 2 players, so 1 to 2 player game. 15 minutes per player, it says. That's kind of accurate. Solo, I do need a little bit longer than 15 minutes, usually. It is a pure 18 card game. And very minimalistic design, as you can see, right? Just a little, kind of like the Tuscany look here. And everything else is white. All right, so let's just open this up. You will not get a montage today for the setup because this is so easy to set up. I will just explain to you how that works. So the solo game differs a little bit from the multiplayer, from the 2-player game, but I will mention those differences, at least some of them. But it plays like the own player turn is quite similar, right? It's just like kind of set up and how like the AI works. Although we don't really have an AI, but I will talk about that later. One thing you can see here is that everything is white. You just see download the rules at. So there's like a web address here where you can like look at or download the PDF for the rules, because the rules are just for 18. It's just an 18 card games, but the rules are quite extensive. Because it says, note, Birdscaping is sold without a physical rulebook to keep costs down for the customer. Birdscaping has a lot of rules for a small game, so including a rulebook of the page count needed would have significantly increased the cost. It makes sense. Also, maybe it wouldn't fit in here. There are a few ideas I have here, so I would have liked at least like a rough overview over the rules, just a very rough one. That would have been possible, I'm pretty sure. But that's something I will talk about later when I review the game. I advise you to stick around for the review because, well, I think there I will say a few interesting things for you. All right, so let me just put that here at the top left, top right, I guess, like this. Okay, so this is a game where you attract birds to your habitat, right? Of course, this is a pure card game. You don't have like a tableau, so we will just build our own tableau, right? I mean, you don't have a player board, but we will just build our own tableau here without the player board. It does have a few similarities to Wingspan, as in that we have 3 different habitats. We have trees, garden, and pond, and we have 4 columns as well. So there are some similarities here, right? So let me just quickly set up the game for a solo game. It is similar in a multiplayer game. You would do some drafting. In a solo game, it is like this, that I draw the first 4 cards here after having shuffled the deck. Then I take a look at these birds. One of them I will give to the AI, and the AI will score the amount of points in the top left corner. The other 3 cards I can work with in my first turn. I have a hand limit of 3, so even if I get new cards, I will have to discard down to 3 at the end of my turn. Let me just kind of guide you through how a card looks like. So in the top here we have the name of the bird. Top left we have the points, the victory points this grants us at the end of the game. Here we have the food costs. So the northern cardinal, for example, would need 1 seed, 1 insect or apple. That dash means or, like in most games. On the right, I can see in which habitat I can play it in. I can play it in the tree, in the garden, and in the pond area, like in all 3. Here on top left, and on the left, I have like the resources this bird grants me when it's activated. I will talk about that later. It will give us 1 nesting area. That's kind of like the eggs in Wingspan. It will generate 1 bug and 1 fruit, 1 apple, and it will also provide us with 1 curious bird icon. That's the feather here. That's just for drafting and drawing new cards. And then in the middle we have the bird, of course, how it looks like, and at the bottom we have like have an effect. There are 3 different effects we have. We have the activation effects. That is the effect that comes into play when I activate the card. I will talk about that a little bit later. This is like an ongoing effect, which is not a good effect here in this case, but that's because the victory point number is that high. And then there are also effects that grant you points at the end of the game. Note in a solo game, point effects here don't come into play because we don't have any other players we're competing against, right? Okay, so what I want to do, I want to make sure I play a bird as soon as possible. So I could play the song thrush with like an apple here. Oh no, I would need 2 apples. So this one costs 2 apples, right? And so we would need to pay apples. We can either pay with activated birds in our tableau, which we don't have yet, or with birds from our hand. The bullfinch I could try to play. That would be possible. If this is the only card in this row, draft 1 card for free. So we could try to work with that one at the beginning and not build any other birds in the tree row, which is kind of tough because a lot of them go into trees. The kingfisher is way too expensive, as is the northern. Actually, we could build the northern cardinal, but it would say like birds that require seeds to play cost +1 seed. That means we just have more costs, and at the beginning I don't think that's a good idea. So these 2 are out. But I would not like to give these to the AI, or even this one here, because they all give a lot of points, right? So I would like to give this to the AI for less points, right? The song thrush I cannot play yet. I would need another apple, another fruit. Yeah, we would have to be very lucky to get that. The only one I can really play is this one here, the bullfinch. So I think I will actually give the northern cardinal to the AI. It's not a good thing, but I will have to do that. Here we have a column of birds that the AI gets. This one at the beginning, and then at the beginning of each new round, 2 new cards. We play over 4 rounds. That means at the end of the game, the AI will have 7 birds here. All right, so that is it. So now for the rest of the setup, we have our deck of cards that we draw from. I will just put that right here. Then here we will put the bird offer. I always put them from right to left in a solo game because the card on the right is supposed to be the older card, one that gets discarded at the end of your turn. And here we will have a discard pile. And here I will just play my, well, let's space it out a little bit more so we have more room. And here I will play my bird rows right below it, right? I think like this it works pretty well. Okay, wonderful. So now it's our turn. We have a lot of things we can do. So the main actions are, let me just quickly go over them. We can activate one of our 3 feature rows. That means we take all the cards that are in here, tilt them to the right. Then we can activate these instant abilities, the activation abilities. And then we have all these resources to spend for other actions. Just in a nutshell, you will see that in detail when I play. The next thing we can do is play a card. Playing a card means I play a card in one of these rows, depending on which rows they can go in. The song thrush could only go into the tree or the garden row, for example. And then I pay these costs. And also, if I play in the first column, I have to play 1 nest. In the second column, 2 nests, 3 nests, and 4 nests, right? I also have to play those. If I use a card to pay for a resource, I have to decide whether I want to play a nest or a food or the curious bird icon. I cannot take all of them. Just one area I can activate. That's important. Another thing I can do is draft cards. Drafting cards mean I pay with curious bird icons, either of activated cards or of cards in my hand that I discard. And then I can draw as many cards as I have activated feathers, right? So I can draft them from here, but I can also draw from there. Another thing I can do is I can untilt a card. That means if I have like these cards activated, then I could untilt the card. That wouldn't give me any resources, wouldn't do anything, but it would just enable me to activate that again at some point. But that is something that you rarely use, but you can use it. And the last thing I can do is draw a card. That means without paying any cost, I can just draw the top deck of the card and take it. That is a little bit more luck-based because I don't know what I will take, but that's what I can do. Alright, so I will now play our first bird. I will play the bullfinch. That's my first action. So I will play it in the tree row because that's the only row it can go in. It needs 1 seed and 1 apple, 1 fruit. I have those here. I will play with the song thrush. Discard that bird card. And then I also need a nest because that's column number 1. And for the nest, I will take the kingfisher here. You see it has 1 nest. I will also discard that one. So the first bird card is played. And what I can do now is, I can activate the bullfinch, so I would have the resources available for other actions like playing birds or drawing cards. And then I activate this ability. It says if this is the only card in this row, draft one card for free. It is the only card in the row. So I think now I will have to think. I could get the woodpecker. The woodpecker has a pretty cool ability as well. It would whenever I take the draft cards action in a turn when I activate it, I can draft 2 cards instead of just 1 with that one here, right? Or instead, generally just 1 more, which is pretty good, but it would have to be placed in the tree row, and I don't want any placed there. The Eurasian Wren wouldn't give me any good ability. That's a scoring ability, and these don't count in a solo game, but I can play it in any row. So I can also play it in one of the other 2 rows, and also it will give me a nest and also 4 points, so it's not too bad. It will give me at least a nest and 4 points. That is something. I need points. That's the most important goal here. Have the most points in my tableau at the end of the game. I could take this one, but I can't play it yet because I still need an insect. So I could also just take a card from there, but I don't know what that is. So I will take this card, and these were my 2 actions: playing a bird and then activating a feature row. Okay, so and now at the end of the turn, we will always discard the rightmost card. If only this card is left, then we will slide that to the right and then discard it, right? If I have taken both cards, then I first replenish and then discard something. So I discard this one here, and then we replenish the offer. And that is pretty much how my turn works. The only thing that you still need to know is how it works when it's the end of the round. The end of the round is triggered when the last card is being revealed from the deck. Okay, so it's my turn again. The Eurasian Wren, I would like to play that. But for that, I need a nest, but also an insect. So I think what I will do, I will actually now draft cards. Let me draft. It doesn't really matter. I will play with any of those. No. Before I draft, I will actually draw a card. Ooh, the Golden Crowned Kinglet is pretty cool because I can choose a card from the offer, and then I can use 1 food from these improvements here. 1 food. I can just use this turn for another bird. That is amazing, but it will have to be played in the tree row. That's bad. With that, we will mess up our bullfinch here. I will keep that for sure, but I will not use it yet. So what I will do, I think I will draft a card, and I will just draft anything. Let me just draft the nuthatch for now. I think with that, it kind of works. Okay, then we slide that to the right, discard it, and then we reveal new cards because I had my 2 actions, right? Okay, so because I was drawing 1 card and then I was drafting 1. All right, so let's see. I definitely want to play this one later. I want to play this one now. I want to play it in this row. For that, I would need 1 nest and 1 bug. I have a bug here. I don't have a nest there. So what I will do is the following. I think that's a pretty good turn. I will activate this row here. That means now I can, because this is the only card in the row, draft 1 card for free. The Fairy Wren is pretty good as well because we get more resources for playing birds. These all don't give a lot of points, but they kind of fire up our engine, right? And that's what we want to do first. So I will draft this one for free. And then I will play this bird. I will play it here in the garden row. And what I need is 1 nest. I will take the nest from the bullfinch by tilting it back, right? So every time it's tilted, I can tilt it back to use one of these resources here. So the 1 nest, and then we also, because in the first column, 1 nest, and then we also need 1 bug, and I will keep this one, I will keep this one, and I will discard the nuthatch here for the bug, so we can actually play that one. Very, very cool. This one just gives us a nest when we activate it, but it gives us like 4 points. That's good. All right, so this one is then discarded. And yeah, the round isn't a whole lot longer, maybe 2 or 3 more turns, depending on what I do. I will play this one, but a little bit later. The Fairy Wren is pretty cool as well. That one will help us a lot. This one is really good. So we need 1 bug for that. We don't have that. I could draft 1 there. That will be possible. So let me activate the bullfinch and draft this one for free. This is such a great ability. And then, yeah. then we can already play the furry one, I think. Yeah, I will play it in... I will actually play it in the pond, because I don't have enough nests otherwise. So, first column, 1 nest. I will take the bullfinch for that. 1 bug. For the 1 bug, I will just discard the colored dove. So see, we already have 3 birds in 1 round. That's pretty good. Yes, they're all pretty cheap. They don't have a lot of points, but still, that is pretty good. My goal will be to have like at least 6 or 7 birds at the end of the game. I just had a game, just this morning. I played it again, and I had a game where I had like 8 birds in my tableau. I think that was my record. Really good. Alright, so let's replenish the bird offer. So we have the European goldfinch and the water hen. I have like a lot of wrens and another finch. This one just gives us points at the end of the game. Not relevant for a solo game, but you see that 2 nests and two of these seeds. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. You know what? Let me activate the bullfinch again to draft that one for free. I just want to have it in my hand. Then I will draw a card. Yeah, let me just draw a card, I think. See what we get here. A bluebird. Okay, this one is removed, and then these are put here, and you see the deck is now empty. That means the first round is ended. I keep the cards in my hand for the next round. Now we take all of these cards. We just give them a nice shuffle. Just an overhand one, because I mean it's 18 cards, right? So river shuffle would be maybe a little bit excessive here. So, oops, there we go. Give it a cut. And then we take the first 2 top cards and give it to the AI. And I just put them usually like this here, because we don't need anything except the victory points up here. 3 points and 3 points. Oh, we're pretty lucky. These are all pretty low points. That is good for us, because there are some in here with like 6, 7, 8 points. You've seen those. So, oh, you see, like the robin, 9 points. That would be pretty bad. Okay, what we do now is, that's a pretty cool thing. Now we turn that like this, that the 2 is at the top. So now we know we are in round 2 of 4. That is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool concept. I like that. Okay, so it's our turn again. So you see, though, you don't really have an AI. You just give points to the AI. That's it. You just play solo and try to build like the best tableau, which I think is pretty nice for this game. But I will talk about that a little bit later, as I said. Okay, so the bluebird is okay. It gives us quite a few things here. Secretly look at the top card of the deck. You may choose to swap it with the card in the offer. That's not bad, but it's also not amazing. So let me see. I would like to play this one here. Later on, also this one, but not quite yet. Maybe next round. This one I would like to play. Gives us a lot of resources and nests and also a lot of points. This one is great. I can pay for it. I just need 2 nests. I only have 1 here. So you know what I will do? I will just, this is kind of a lost turn, but I will just activate this row and also activate this row. So I just have these resources, right? And these activations get stronger the more cards I have in a row. I don't have that yet, but I will start filling up the rows now. So, yeah, that was my turn. So this one is discarded. And then we put the robin here. Oh, by the way, when I draft cards, the draft card action, like not drawing cards, but actually draft card action with the curious bird icons, right? I can then draft cards from the offer, also from the top of the deck, but I can also draft from the top of the discard pile. So if I took the draft action action now, I could actually take the nuthatch back if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I could. The robin is really good. It's really, really good, but it's also quite expensive. Would I be able to? Maybe next turn. Let's see. So what I will do now is, I would play the European goldfinch. Can I immediately do it? I can do it. I can do that. You know what? But I will draw a card first and hope for some nests. Yes, there is a nest there. Wonderful. Oh, the kingfisher would also be good, right? Could I pay for the kingfisher? No, not really. I actually messed up here. I should have not have activated that last round. But now I did. Okay, let's see if I can still do it. I can still do it. That's fine. Okay. I want to play the European goldfinch. I don't want to play it up here. I want to play it here in the middle. So, first of all, I need 1 seed or one insect. So I have one seed here, and then I have like in another seed right here. So the food costs are satisfied. Now I need 2 nests because in the second column, right? So I will untap this one here. Untilt it, I mean. I say untap because I have played Magic before, like earlier, so that's why. So, and then I need another nest, and for that I will just discard the bluebird. Yeah, I don't really need that one at the moment, so I think I will just discard the bluebird. So now we have the European goldfinch here. It gives us a lot of resources when it's activated, right? Actually, no, let me keep the bluebird. Let me instead tilt this one for the nest. That's better. That's a better idea. So the robin is now gone. I think I would really like to get the robin back, because that would give us a lot of points. Could I pay for the robin? I would need 2 insects. I don't have a lot of insects here, right? I need to work on the golden crowned kinglet now. I need to do so. So I will save for that one now. So what I will do is I will tap this one here, and then I can draft a card for free, and I will just take the robin. I need an insect for that. I need an insect, which I don't have at the moment, and I also need 2 nests. I would have 1 nest there. You know what? Let me also activate this row here, just to be safe. Okay. So I have 4 cards at the moment. That's okay. I would like to get at least 1 card more in this round, maybe even 2, because the last rounds will go faster. Because remember, I will always put 2 cards there, so the rounds will go faster. I will play more cards. I will put more cards there. Like I had like one game where the last round took like, I don't know, like there were like just 2 cards there. That's it. So I just 1 turn. So now it's the next turn. That is pretty good, because what I will do is I will also now activate this one here, which now gives me, it says this turn receive 1 seed or 1 insect toward paying the cost of playing a bird. So that insect, I get that pretty much for free now. That is great. And I will play that right here. Then we don't have the draft action anymore, unfortunately, but that is still fine. And I still need to pay 2 nests. So let me untap this one and also that one, like this. And you see, now my engine is just getting better and better. Okay, wonderful. So let's see. What do you want to do now? The robin. So now I'm getting closer to being able to play the robin, because 2 insects right there. An apple I could get there, and another apple I could get there. I would just need 2. I would just need 2 nests, which I would also have. Oh, can I play it this round? No, not this round. But what I will do this round, I will just activate this row and this row. Okay, so this one is discarded because I still have 1 turn, as you can see. That is pretty good. So now I will be able to play the robin. I will play it down here. That's 2 insects right there. That is 1 apple right here. Another apple right there. And then 2 nests right there. Actually, you know what? Let me tap these 2 instead for the 2 nests. Might be a better idea. I'm not 100% sure yet. Let me pull them up a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that was that turn. Oh no, that was just 1 action. I still have a second action. And there's nothing really I can do, so I can just draw a card. Let me just draw a card. Yeah. So, and now the deck is gone. So, the burrowing owl. That one is not too bad either. So I might be able to work with that because that one is free. I just need the nests. Okay, so let's shuffle all of these up. So we're halfway through the game. So you see, now I've been recording for a little bit more than half an hour, but like the pure playing time, like I usually play like a game in 20 to 30 minutes, but I think you can play it faster. But I mean, you have to think a little bit, right? Only 4 points. Oh, we could win this game. Only 5 points. Man, we're really lucky at the moment. So our bird offer here, like this, and then we are now in round 3. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit too high. You can't really see that. There we go. There we go. I didn't want to pull up the camera even more because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see anything. But you want to see these beautiful pictures, don't you? This one I would definitely want to play. This one is not too bad either. We would have needed that at the beginning, but you may activate a card in this column. That is pretty nice. So I will draft cards for sure. We don't have a lot of cards here. We don't have a lot of rounds. The song thrush. Apple. I will need a second apple, right, to be able to play that. But this one just gives us like 7 points, which is a lot. This is a lot. Let me activate this row here. And then I will draft cards. I will draft both cards here. Just hope we can do something with that. By playing with these two curious bird icons here. Alright, so now we put 2 new cards here. And one of them we will have to discard. So this is our last round already. Okay, so already the last round, you see? So the burrowing owl is free. We just need 2 nests, which you would have here. So I could play that. The colored dove. Will I be able to play the colored dove? I could also play the colored dove, not quite yet. But next round I will be able to. What I will do, I will now play the burrowing owl. Right there. Doesn't cost any food. This one just comes for free. But we need 3 nests because of the 3rd column. So 2 nests right there and 1 nest right there. That's fine. That was just my first action. With the second action, I need to activate a row. I will activate this row right here. Will I? Yeah, I will activate this one right here. Yeah. Okay, let me discard this one. Put this one there, and that's already now our last turn. And you can see we don't really have any cards here. I don't know if I will be able to play another bird. Let's see, because I put 2 here. Oh no, that's an 8. And that's a 6. Okay, but we're still okay, I think. And then I will put 2 here, of course, right? So that is already like the last. So we would have to end the game now because we don't have anything in the draw pile. But in the last round, whenever the AI turns over the last card, then you still have an extra round. And here I play with the rules. So if I'm mistaken here, Joe, then just let me know, right? In case you're watching this video. I hope so, and I hope you're enjoying it. But I usually play like this. If you have only 2 cards left here, which happened to me before, then I can still at least take 1 turn. Otherwise, it would be a little bit unfair, in my opinion. So, can I play the song thrush? I would need 2 apples, but I only have 1 down here. So I will not be able to play that one for 7 points. That's a shame. But I will be able to play the colored dove. I should be able to. Yeah, I will definitely be able to. So I will now activate this row. And this turn now, because I've activated the fairy one, I receive 1 seed or 1 insect for free when I play a bird. So I only need one seed here, but doesn't matter because I will play this here anyway. And then, oh wait. No, wait. No. I only need to pay 1 seed, so I will pay the seed with the song thrush, actually, like this. I will play it here in this row, which means I need 4 nests, but I have 2 here and 2 there. So I was actually able to play the colored dove. And that marks the end of the game. So what's happening now is now the AI and I receive points. As usual, I will put the point counters down here. All right, let us count up our points first. But before we do so, let me just have a glass of water because I'm really, really parched here. All right, there we go. Never forget to stay hydrated. You know that. Okay, so now let's count up our points. And that's pretty straightforward. Like in a multiplayer game, you would now count up all the points here in the top left. But you would also, let me just put them all straight, it looks nicer. But you would also like count up like these victory point, end game conditions, so to speak, end game points here. But in a solo game, as I said, that won't matter. So we just count up our points here. So we have 2, 6, 10, 15, 20, 24, 26, 35. That's not too bad for having that many like low ranked birds. So that is 35 points for us. And the AI has 7, 10, 13, 17, 22, 30, 36. You gotta be kidding me. No. No. That can't be right. 10, 13, 17, 22, 30, 36, 2, 6, 10, 15, 20, 24, 26, 35. Oh no. We lost by 1 point. Oh no. Come on. Where did I go wrong? I have no idea. But, it's also, of course, luck-based, right? If the AI would have just drawn like the blue jay here instead of the kingfisher, we would have won now, right? But I mean, look at this. We have 8 cards in here, which is really good. The maximum you could have is 12, and I don't even know if that's possible. Joe, let me know if you have ever had 12 cards in tableau. But like 8 is really high. I think I've never had more than 8. But yeah, so that was my playthrough of Birdscaping. I have not scripted a review, but let me still tell you what I think about this game, because I do have quite a lot of thoughts. So first of all, the theme is wonderful. You know that I like nature and bird themed or animal themed games in general. A lot of my most favorite games are actually like kind of nature or animal themed, and this one does it really nice because you have like really nice illustrations here, and generally the graphic design is very nice. You have like these wooden planks here at the top with the name of the birds. You have like this paper parchment kind of look here. You have like these nice centered, really beautiful beautifully illustrated birds. So the graphic design is really nice. The theme is great. I really enjoy that. Components, well, I mean, you have cards, right? Of course, these cards are quite standard. They're nothing to write home about, but I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's totally okay. This game will be played a lot by me, and you will at some point see that I have played it. But I'm not sure if I could sleeve it and still fit it in here. I don't think so. Otherwise, I would do it so. But I definitely still want to fit it in here because it's like a nice pocket game. So theme and graphic style, really, really nice. The gameplay is extremely tight. But usually I don't like games that are designed too tightly. There are games that are designed in such a way that making just a small mistake or just, I don't know, not making the exact right decision will make you lose the game. You know that quite early then, you just have to like play the game. Like one of such games, in my opinion, is Robinson Crusoe and the Cursed Island. It's a good game. I know a lot of people love it. I liked it. I played it a few times and I liked it, but I sold off my copy at some point because it was just too frustrating for me. Not because it's hard. I like hard games, right? But it was just so tightly designed. I had the feeling that there was just like a very, very small margin for error. And that is something I don't really enjoy, right? So I want to also have a little bit of freedom of how I tackle the problem, and I had the feeling it wasn't the case there. Here is a little bit different. This is very tightly designed because in order to actually have resources, birds aren't enough. You also have to activate them. And then sometimes you lose a turn because I activate this row, but there are no activations, like no abilities I can use, and then this one as well. So let's say I just couldn't use any abilities, and because either the abilities don't help me at all, because this one, for example, says you may activate a card in this column. Yeah, there is no other card in this column, right? So this is a card you want to play to the left more and then have good abilities at the top, at the bottom. But you can't always do that because you have a specific birds in your hand that you can choose from, and you also need to be able to like actually pay for them, right? And like paying for birds is really tight. So I activate this row, I cannot use any activation powers, and that's my turn. And now I have the things to activate, like to play new birds. But at the beginning you have nothing. You just play one bird. I played the bullfinch and have like this one resource. This really saved me. Like drafting one card for free whenever I activate it. I have to activate it all the time because I need the nest or I need the seed, right? And that's kind of like where you try to build up your engine. At the beginning, you have nothing. But at the end, you actually do have quite a few things, right? You can activate an entire row and see what I get here. It's not the greatest row, right? But it's okay. Even here, I get 3 nests and 2 resources. That's not too bad. And 3 curious bird symbols. So this game really, like, you really build up your own engine here. But it's really tightly designed, as I said. So because you only have 2 actions, you are on a strict timer, and you know the AI just gets points. Even if you don't play against an AI, if you play like the 2-player version, the other player like maybe plays birds, and you say like, oh no, now I'm losing a turn just activating things. And that frustrated me at the beginning, to be honest. But it is a great design because you really think about each single action you take. And this is why this game works so well. In Wingspan, for example, because it does have a few similarities with that game, of course, you can't compare them. One of like a big box game that you play like much longer, you have many more decisions. Here you have 18 cards, of course, you can't compare them. But they do have that idea of building up your engine, right? And in Wingspan, you take longer to build up your engine. And your engine, it works way differently. Because you don't really like just activate a feature row. You don't get resources by that, but you instead just get an action for that. So it's way different, of course, right? But you need longer to build up your engine. Here, you're much tighter. You really need to think of, okay, if I activate this row now, will I be able to play this bird? This can lead to analysis paralysis, because if you have like an expensive bird, let's say the kingfisher here, for example, and you can only play it there or here, okay, then you need to think, so I need 3 insects. I can get 2 there and 1 there. Okay, that's good. Then I need 3 or maybe even 4 nests if I want to build it up there. Oh no, well, actually there's nothing there. I need 3 nests, okay. But maybe you don't have all of these cards. And then you want to build the kingfisher, because if you don't build it now, you will have to discard it at some point, or it clogs up one of the 3 spots in your hand, right? And then, well, if you discard it at some point, then the AI may get it, or the other player. So there are so many decisions in this game in such a small, tight package. This is a pretty great design. This is something I have hardly seen any games with such a tight design before in such a small package. It has pretty small footprint, pretty good as well. I like that as well. So another thing is, besides the analysis paralysis, another thing you might not like too much is like the luck factor, right? You need to have like good birds at the beginning. You could also like draw like all these expensive birds at the beginning. And then what you do? Well, kind of hard. You can't really work with those. Right? So, and then you will have to give one of those high point birds to the AI, what I had to do at the beginning. Imagine I could have given him a 5-point bird. Then I would have won. And that's another luck aspect, especially in the solo game. You don't know which cards you will give to the AI during the game, right? And that can be a little bit frustrating, because I think I have built up quite a nice tableau here. I'm quite happy with what I have here. I think I actually played the game well. I'm quite satisfied with how I did things today. But, well, the AI still won because, well, I was a little bit unlucky with the cards the AI got. So if that's something that really turns you off, this might be an issue for you. It's not a huge issue for me because I just enjoy the gameplay here. I think it's a nice puzzle, and yes, I lost by 1 point. But I'm still happy about the engine I built here. And that's like the feeling that I usually get in Wingspan. I love playing Wingspan. If I lose, I don't really care too much. Of course, I want to win. It's great if I win. But if I don't, that's fine as well, because I just have built up a beautiful tableau with great birds. Maybe we have a great engine, and I'm just happy to see that at the end, right? So I really enjoyed this game. There are just 2 things that kind of hold the game back for me. One of them is the omission of the rules in the package. I understand the notion that the rules won't fit in here because these are too lengthy. That is true. I have read the rules, of course, so I know that there are a lot of rules there. But have like a small overview. Have like an overview over the setup here. Just a small setup for solo and for multiplayer game. Have here the actions you can do. Have here how the AI works, maybe down here. You know, just have maybe an image of the tableau here. It is possible to condense the rules in a small fashion. You will still have to go online to read the rules, but if you know the game and just want a little small refresher, you can just go take a look at this in here. I think this is something that is really a missed chance. Like, it's nice, this very minimalistic design. I get that, it's cool, but have like a small aspect of the rules in here. I think that would have been necessary, in my opinion. And the other thing the game suffers a little bit from is the replayability, because at some point you will know all the birds and it will not be as exciting anymore. I think you can get like a good 5 or 10 plays out of this until it might start feeling repetitive. What this game really, really needs is an expansion, in my opinion. Just have a second set of 18 cards. Perfect. Maybe even have the option of having like a bigger package where you can put all 18 cards in, and this would have been even better. But I read online, I think it was a post from 2 months ago, I think Joe even said it themselves, that this game will get an expansion. I think there's like a fan expansion for this currently, and they are looking to produce it at the moment. So there will be an expansion, and you know what I will do. I will definitely get that expansion when it releases, for sure, right? So all in all, let me tell you something. This game will definitely get my Ace of Games Silver Award. Because I really think this is a great game. It is not a perfect game in my opinion. I mean, of course, there are not perfect games. And it's also not one of the best games ever, right? That I would award with the Golden Seal. With the Golden Award, the Golden Ace of Games Award, because there are a few things holding it back. Especially the luck factor can be an issue if you are really unlucky with the cards you draw, right? And there are no really ways to mitigate that. There have been games I could hardly do anything. I just had to waste turns to get more cards, kind of cycle through the deck. That can happen. The analysis paralysis factor is a little bit high, and also like the omission of the rules here, at least like a small abstract, is something that kind of holds it back from receiving the even higher ranking. But I think it's a great feat for a small 18 card game to be that tightly designed that I have no issues and no problems whatsoever granting Birdscaping the Silver Sir Thecos Ace of Games Award. I'm really happy to do so. So yeah, all in all, a really good game. High luck factor, high analysis paralysis factor, but apart from that, a really good game that will just get better with the next expansion, I'm sure of it. Alright, so that was my playthrough and the little award ceremony for Birdscaping by Joe Klipfel. You can get that on GameCrafter. I will put a link in the description and also in the pinned comment where you can get this game. If you decide to get this game, it would be great if you could click on the link. There's no affiliate program with GameCrafter, but I am working together with GameCrafter actually, just supporting each other, and they actually have like a metric of how many people click on the link if they want to get this game, so you can really like support me and also GameCrafter, of course, with just clicking on the link if you want to check out the game, even if you don't buy it. But that will just help me out and maybe enable me to do even more GameCrafter game playthroughs and reviews in the future. That would be really great support. Speaking about support, I am really happy and really thankful for all of your support. Especially, of course, I want to thank my patrons who are generously supporting me on Patreon. The biggest shout out goes to Thecos, who is the biggest supporter at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. If you would also like to support me on Patreon, you can head over there and check out the tiers. I'm generally happy about any kind of support, including likes, comments, and especially subscriptions, and of course clicking on that GameCrafter link. You can also join my Discord server to hang out with me in my really awesome community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.